Things about Illustrator is their shapes and Pathfinder tools. So over here in our tool panel, you've got the rectangular tool. If you click and hold, you'll be given a whole bunch of options there for sort of the star tool and oval and rounded corners, all those kinds of things, polygon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a few of these shapes. So I've got a rectangle tool, and I've then just drawn that, and then I've got an ellipse tool, so I'm going to draw a circle here. I can also click once rather than clicking and dragging will give me the shape, but if I click once it will give me an option to type in, I want it to be 50 by 50, and then I can go okay, and it's going to give me an exact circle to the dimensions. Same with all of the shapes, so rectangle I can go 50 by 50, and it's going to give me a rectangle that is 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters exactly. So that can be really good for architectural drawing, those kinds of things. So the shapes have a whole bunch of options to them where you can sort of move them around, and then you can manipulate them with your direct selection tool in there. So that's all of them. You can change the pitch at which the curves are, or the length of where they're at, those kinds of things. So you can really manipulate. Obviously that used to be a circle, it's no longer a circle. So you can do all that kind of stuff. That's really cool. Then you've got your fill again and your stroke. So you've got all sorts of different, well, that was not very helpful, colors and stuff happening in there. So that's how we did that one last time. So your shapes are really simple like that. It's really easy to manipulate that and make them work. So the other thing with shapes that's really cool is the Pathfinder tool. So I'm just going to select two sort of rectangles here. So the Pathfinder tool comes into our general panel, so over here. It's not going to be there for you because every time you restart your computers, you are restarting again. So if you've got it on your own computer, you'll be able to set this and it'll stay there, which is great. But I've gotten rid of mine on there so that I can show you how to do that. So up here in Window, these are all the extra tools that you can add to your general panel. So Pathfinder is just here. It's one of these things. So if you click on that, it's going to open up this little document window there. So I can click this and I can drag this into one of these. So I'm just going to shove it in there. So this is my Pathfinder tool. It's got a whole bunch of really interesting tools in here that are really helpful. So if I will show you how they sort of work. I've got my two rectangles here. So I'm going to select both of them like this just by clicking and dragging using the selection tool. Then if I click this one here, it's going to unite them. So it's going to join the objects together to create one object like that. So that's the sort of the first option. And I might just create a few of these so you can sort of see the different options here. So we'll just do that again. So we've got that, and then I'll unite them to join them together. And then I'm just going to copy this again so that I've got that over here as well. This one I will cut the front from the back. So this one's going to be on top because its lines are going over. So I'm currently going to cut the front from the back so my shape is left like that. This one is going to keep the center. And then if I just have another one of those, I'm going to keep everything but the center. So now there is no object in the middle of those two things. If I was to put a fill in that, it will show you a bit more where the actual shape is. There you go. So it's got everything but the center.